ADU. 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 ADUinvesting.com. We are here live.
By that domain.
Right. ADU. Let's get back on the ADU train.
Okay.
Action.
Back from the same spot?
From the same spot. Or we can just keep rolling. Just however you...
no, sorry. I'm trying to remember where we're at. So we talked about
granny flats,
qualification, all
studios, qualifications.
Okay, now we're going to look for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So then we go out and we look for it has to be a single family house. Well, it can be a duplex too, depending on the size of the yard and the access to parking. But those are finite details. But for simplicity, for this, we're looking for single family houses and with backyards, with access to the backyard, and enough parking that is not counted on the street. So we can make a walkway to the back. We can develop a tiny house in the backyard and rent that thing because, it can be 1,200 square feet. 1,200 square feet, you can put 3-bedroom, 2-bath in that. Easy.
Yeah.
So you make a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, that detached garage that's sitting off, whatever. Well, kind of use a garage space. Well, it'd be nice if I can use a garage space for $1,800 a month. So you could take the garage structure that's already there. You convert the inside depending on your finishes. It can be anywhere from, I've heard as cheap as 30. It's really cheap. And then up to about 80. Sometimes there's luxury ADUs because we got homes west of the 5 where you're doing that where you can get a really premium rent.
Yeah.
Only thing is you can't Airbnb the ADU. You can Airbnb the main house.
Gotcha.
All these finite details. But yeah, go ahead.
So what's the importance of this?
Creating passive income with lower barrier to entry and cheap builds. So to build the primary house, you have to build. You're already getting the benefit of the single family house when you buy it. So let's say we go out and we buy a single family house in Oceanside, and it's west of the 5, and it's got a yard, and it's got all the access points, everything like that. Instead of dividing the lot and building 2 primary residences, getting all the permits to divide it, paying for the division, and all that. We're just going to add an ADU to the primary house in the backyard, and we're going to get pretty much the same income. Because it's going to be still a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it has to be built like the primary house, even has to have the same roof, so it looks the same.
Oh, wow.
Things like that. So it's the easiest way to add doors and rental income opposed to just developing a full second primary house.
So who's this who's this for? Is this more for the seller or the buyer? So if I'm a buyer, I'm coming in, I'm going to get a new loan on this house. Do I do an ADU
It's for the buyer.
move? And I can come in and be like, okay, I got the house. Now I'm going to go plop in an extra unit.
Yeah, so there's a couple ways you can add the ADU.
Or watch this. Or could this happen? I don't know. Could this happen as like, I'm getting ready to sell my house. Could I throw an ADU on it to jack up the price? Or is that coming into the conflict of, oh, you're spending all this money, but you're not really going to get enough out of it? Tell us about that.
I think it depends on the area, and that comes down to, I would love to overgeneralize and say, on statistically ADUs add to 100 to 150. Granted equity to the primary house because you're adding square footage, because you're getting that you're adding that price per square foot in that area. But at the same time, you really got to look at the property and see if it makes sense. If it looks like something you're forcing a square peg in a round hole in the right area, and it's
Gotcha. Yeah, you got to have that strategy.
It could be $200,000 to build that thing.
Oh wow.
200 to 300 depending on the finishes, depending on what the primary house. The primary house is like this nice tile roof, a luxury house with nice stucco and all this stuff like. The ADU has to match that, so it's it's gonna be a higher quality ADU.
Cool. So let's get into promises.
Ooh.
Yeah, these buyer promises, seller promises,
buyer
promise rings, promise. What are you doing here?
You put this on you.
I promise. So what are these promises?
Okay.
How do they take place for the? Look at that.
Oh,
Magically, we have the printout flyer.
When we go see showings.
Yes. Let me see this promising.
There you go.
So let's read this out. I'll take care of the promises. Just sit back.
Oh yeah.
Fam Home Warriors. 1 year upgraded home warranty. We will negotiate or pay the warranty on your behalf at no cost to you. So tell us.
Yes.
So a warranty.
Warranty.
You get a warranty on a house?
Yes.
Like a money back guarantee warranty, or like a
Nah,
we fix
not a money back
like a recall warranty, or
I
like
mean, we do have a technically a warranty
powertrain,
with us because if we
100,000 mile powertrain warranty. Like what?
it's somewhat 1 year.
Okay, 1 year warranty.
1 year or X amount of hours used or whatever first to relate to the car. So actually it's funny. We actually kind of do offer a warranty, however you want to look at it, for our team, because if you don't like your house within 12 months, it's actually on there. Oh, wow. If you don't like your house within 12 months, we'll buy it back. Whoa. Bold. I know. It is. So yeah, the warranty is basically we negotiate when we write your offers, we just sneak it in there. We get the seller to pay for it. We negotiate it in. And, I haven't really remembered a time where we haven't been able to get it for our clients, unless it's like a brand new house and it's a brand new build. Like we go into like a new development. There's no point in getting that. No one in the right mind would pay for that. There's already all the stuff in the house is already warranted from the builder.
What's going under warranty?
So let's just say, to paint the picture, like 6 months in, your water heater blows. Warranty's you call that warranty that we negotiated for you, pays for it brand new.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you don't have to, it's whatever happens
appliances,
in that 12 months. Appliances, plumbing blows. I mean, but you also got insurance
structural
too. Structural. Well, it's with
leaky roof.
Anything that happens within 12ve months. Wow, yeah. So the roof starts leaking.
Landscaping.
And whoa.
These plants died. What are we gonna do?
They're like, I would like a palm tree. You're like, well, a palm tree is $8,000. Well, my warranty said.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So let's get on to promise number 2.
Cha-chang.
Sell for free guaranteed, which guarantees that if you are unhappy with your purchase for any reason within 18 months, we will sell your home for free. So how does this work?
So basically, if you call us and within 12 months and you don't like your house, we'll list it for free. So you can actually break even on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or make money on it, because if the market appreciates in that time.
Pop some equity in there.
Yeah. So we'll basically, like, okay, sorry you don't like it. We will list it for free and go find a buyer.
Cool. So now let's talk about the promise number 3, lifetime access to FAM University.
Okay.
So what we're doing here is education broken down from first-time homebuyer to advanced real estate investing and everything in between. Fill us in on what we have going on with our FAM University.
So FAM University is something that's going to be definitely growing more and more over time. So like I said, I spent, let's just leave the number out, a lot of money to learn what I've learned in communities and meetups and all these different things. So we thought it would be really valuable if we're like, we want everyone to be an investor, because like my mission statement is to teach everyone how to buy their time back in life, whether that's through real estate or creative finance strategies, like what's in FAM University with paying down your mortgage, still has to do with real estate. But, believe that real estate's one of the best and long tried and true ways to create long-term wealth and store your wealth. So FAM University, as it grows, right now it's more focusing on the banking strategy that we teach called velocity banking, is going to be how to pay your mortgage off, opposed to 30 years and 8 years with no extra money, just restructured banking, and it walks you the whole thing. We hold webinars on it twice a month.
Cool.
Yeah, so
it's live. It's a constantly evolving, and you're staying up to date. And then new people are coming on, so you're kind of onboarding new people as you go.
Yeah,
cool.
And we run, and everyone that buys a house or sells a house with us, or really anyone that really reaches out, and we can make time for, we'll actually run your numbers for you and show you what that looks like and how you structure it out and where to pull your credit lines for to use that. But FAM University, we want to keep building into, just overall real estate education. Plus, how do you build your credit fast? A big reason why people can't buy houses, they'll have enough income to they're like, I can pay that mortgage, it's easy. But their credit's a 500, 520. No one's going to give them a loan for that, because someone has to buy that debt, and no one's going to buy that bad investment.
Wow.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah, that'll definitely keep growing over time. So we can, we give that for free with everyone that buys. buys or sells with us, so they can have lifetime access. So as it grows, it's just something we give our clients so they have the power that we do.
Yeah, new information.
Yeah, and you don't have to pay $50,000 for it.
Right.
Eventually we'll get we'll get it to that value, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to promise number 4. Choose your charity. $500 donated on your behalf.
Oh yeah.
So tell us about this charity work you guys do here. Sounds amazing. Giving back to the community is always a great thing.
Yeah.
Got your back, San Diego. That's
got your back, San Diego.
Yeah.
God, what a wonderful woman that is. Yeah. So, Sister Got Your Back San Diego is actually an organization that feeds basically hungry kids. So during the week, if they got the school system pays for their meals on the weekends, they go home. They don't know where the next meal is coming from. So that program covers that gap between the weekends. And this woman based here in San Diego has been doing that for a long time. I don't know the actually exact amount of years, but that's 100% what she's devoted to, and that's all she does. So if you don't have something that's really special to you that you care to donate to, whether it's something about the planet or the environment or whatever, then we're going to donate $500 to that out of every deal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So with, sometimes do bigger quarterly donations or something like that. Or with my VA buyers, I'll give $500 to their battalion for like their MWR fund, which basically is like for fun money, or to their events or something like that. So I give my veteran buyers an option to do that. They're active duty.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right on. So then let's go to promise number 5. We will save you at least $10,000 off price repair, or we pay you $2,000 at closing.
Yes.
What does that maybe mean?
Okay, so so there's a couple ways that you can earn that $2,000, but we are obviously it's good because we're incentivized to get you that $10,000, and the $10,000 comes from if the property's offered at $550 and we win the bid somehow at $540 with terms or whatever, we just saved you $10,000 off of asking. So that's the $10,000. The other way which is more common in this market because we have to just win the bid because it's so competitive, and we have various different ways that we get our offers accepted amongst a pile of 20 different offers, even our FHA buyers, which are pretty much the weakest on paper. But once we get in the door, that's the other half of it. So if we get it at $550 and now we do the inspection comes up and let's say there's termite, let's say there's $5,000 in termite, and there's like one of my last VA deals I did, there was a deck in the back. It was an external deck. It was all Trek board, but the concrete footing was sliding out and it was kind of warped and it just needed to be rebuilt to be safe. Rather than the seller repairing it before the close of escrow for my buyer, we just said, we'll repair that deck. Why don't you just give us $5,500? So they gave us a credit, $5,500 to rebuild this deck. He had a family member, and the reason I asked for that is because he has a family member that builds decks. He can do it for $2 and reuse the boards. So I just earned him $3,300 back in his pocket because we asked for a credit, and that total termite was $5,000 and the credit was $55,000. So we earned him $10,000.
Oh, cool.
We didn't have to give him $2,000. If we didn't, and the property's just pristine, everything like that, we even are a couple dollars under that $10,000, we're gonna give you $2,000 towards your closing costs.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Right on. Okay.
So I said buy one, 2, 1. Trying to continue off that because I really don't want to redo that.
Refer 2 people. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Refer 2 people a year when it comes time for you to sell. Our services are free to you.
Got it. So went through all that.
BOGO and buy one, get one.
BOGO.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Yeah.
Houses.
There's BOGOs for shirts. Where's there BOGOs for real estate?
Yeah.
So, so essentially, like I said, if you bring us 2 people that want to sell. We sell both their houses. And when you're ready to sell, whenever that is, years down the line, you hit us up, we pull out of the system. Oh, you brought us 2 people. We'll sell your house for free. And that's going to save you X amount of dollars, whatever your value of your property is in that percentage.
Okay.
So yeah, it's huge.
That's cool.
We want to build a giant, fan base.
Let's hit it with promise number 7.
Wow.
Fam Wealth Accelerated Formula. Teaching you how to pay your mortgage off in half the time with no additional income. So how does that even work? How does that make sense? What are you guys talking about here?
So that's
half the time without spending twice the money.
Yeah, it's kind of a I've seen like year one. I said mine's like it's mind boggling. It's really hard to. It's hard when I first was like nah. Like when you first hear it, like that makes no sense.
Yeah,
that makes no sense. How can everyone be paying 30 and there's an option to pay 8 and no one does it? Barely any people, or these just group of investors, unique investors that we're thankfully to be a part of that organization to learn it. Yeah, that are not doing it. So that's why I love seeing the look on people's face when they see it and it kind of comes full circle, which I personally had to do that class multiple times. I've done that. I've ran through it. I've gone to multiple in-person classes until one day I was like, oh, yeah, it works. Yeah, it's insane. So we're the only mortgage system on the planet that uses an amortization structure of interest. Asinine. So the whole rest of the world uses just normal credit lines. So what amortization does is it's all front-loaded interest. So at the beginning, if you're looking at a graph here, interest starts at the top, it comes down, and then principal comes in at the 15-year mark. You start paying a little bit more principal than interest.
Gotcha.
And then what's sad is everyone restarts the clock at about 3 to 5 years every time. And they just keep folding it back.
Gotcha. They're buying down their payment instead of paying off their interest.
Yeah, just prolonging the duration. So, and so that's one fault of people with paying their mortgage. They just keep revamping it to get a lower monthly. They don't realize that the banks love that. They love when you refinance. They get to restart that clock to the beginning, so where it's a higher % of interest towards your principal than principal. So what we do. And is we teach people how to beat that system and to beat the banks. All right. So what you do in a nutshell is we're using debt to beat debt, and there are two different kinds of debt. So amortization. If you ever want to get really mad at what you've done, if you already paid off your mortgage after 30 years, is go look at your amortization schedule.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The first payment on my condos, $325. I bought it for. Good interest rate, 3%. And the first payment, it's like $1,200 in interest and like $800 in principal. And that's $1,200 in interest. So the first year is $24,000 in interest. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what we do is if you make a large principal-only payment drawing from a credit line and you put it towards the principal, what it essentially does, and this is where I really got it, and I love teaching other people doing this, so if you look at an amortization schedule, for every payment that large sum fits into on that table, the interest just deletes.
Oh, wow.
So
right.
If I'm taking a $10,000 chunk and I'm putting it in, and roughly there's $800 to $900 because it stair steps through each month, pays for that 1 year, I just deleted $24,000 in interest, and then you do it every year, and you just keep rolling it.
That's power.
Yeah. So it's just like, what % gain is that opposed to, to stocks? Stocks you're hoping.
Oh.
And the rates are terrible on success on stock investors.
If you're looking at it as an investment by saying, hey, it's not necessarily, we're avoiding getting hammered by interest.
Yes.
It's
guaranteed.
The play. That's cool.
If you play it right, it's guaranteed. It's just numbers. It's purely just math.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's get to promise number 8. Our cancellation guarantee, which allows you to cancel this agreement at any time if we don't live up to our promise. Cancellation guarantee.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people that are hesitant to work with a realtor or talk to a realtor or anything like that because they feel like it's just like commitment, it's over. You're in. That's it. So it's like, we already know the value we bring. If you don't feel that you're getting it, then you can walk, and we have no attachment to that.
Okay.
And I don't think that's a very common thing in our industry, and that's kind of maybe why this is a bad name. I don't mean to put bad rap, but so it's just like if you don't feel like we're acting in your best interest, or doing you the highest good, the highest service, like feel free to cancel.